Be fruitful, go out and bear fruit, and that your fruit should abide. Dear brothers and dear sisters, the Lord says in today's Gospel, "You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you that you should go and bear fruit, and that your fruit should abide." In the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 28, the Lord says to the first parents, the first chosen ones, "Be fruitful and multiply." And in today's Gospel, Jesus says to His chosen ones, "Be fruitful, go out and bear fruit, and that your fruit should abide." Notice the words, dear brothers and dear sisters. The Lord adds these words, that your fruit should abide. Why did not Jesus just say, "Go forth and bear fruit"? Why did Jesus say that your fruit should abide? Probably to tell the disciples that it is not enough that you win over someone. Rather, we need to win someone for Christ. Dear brothers and dear sisters, the Lord is calling us to bear fruit that has a lasting impact rather than a temporary one. We all are involved in bearing fruit in one kind or the other. But the question before us is my fruit bearing a temporary one, or is it a lasting one? We all know about Saint Mother Teresa. She was well known for her service to the poor and the needy. Well, she did not end up just in doing social service. Rather, we know in the writings about her that towards the end of a person's life, when a person was nearing his death or her death, Mother Teresa would ask that person, "Would you like to accept Christ?" She not just won over someone, rather she did her best to win that soul for Christ. Dear brothers and dear sisters, we all know about Saint Albert the Great, who taught in the universities. He not just taught in the university, he also did his effort to win souls for Christ. The biggest example we have is Saint Thomas Aquinas. Dear brothers and dear sisters, we may be doing a lot of work, lot of fruit-bearing activity. We need to ask ourselves, or what is the impact of this fruit-bearing? Pope Francis, in his general audience given on Wednesday, April 12th of this year, he says this: "Sometimes we have to deal with a misdirected zeal. One can boast of a false evangelical zeal while actually pursuing vainglory or one's own convictions or a little bit of love of self." Dear brothers and dear sisters, if we move around with our own selfish interests, I fear that we may not be able to bear lasting fruit. Today we need to examine ourselves. How good is my fruit bearing? Does it have a lasting impact or a temporary one? For the Lord says, "Go and bear fruit, and that your fruit should abide."